Hello, my friend. It's another time again. Let's talk about it with King Emmanuel on the Incubator Media Radio. Your host and your friend as well. And I hope you're having a nice time. At the last time we spoke about overprotective parent. Today we'll continue talking about inattentive parent. And you equally know that we'll sure care for you because whatever that happens in your house over time determines your performance outside. And that's why we're looking at some of these issues as it affects you as a youth. And the essence is we wanted you to change. We'll try to define what an inattentive parent is. We'll look at the effect. And we'll look at how you can handle it so that on your path of destiny, nothing is allowed to distract or stop you from getting to where you promise yourself or where you're supposed to be. So as usual, we have a brother, he's a counselor, and we'll continue our discussion. Mr. Adeola Adeniro, continue our discussion with him. And I wish you listen and learn as much as you can be so that I will see you at the other side of success. So, sir, you're welcome to discuss about inattentive parent today. Welcome, sir.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you for having me. And friends, it's good to be here once again. Okay, today we're looking at inattentive parents. It's one of the major challenges that young people have, where they feel that their parents are not just there for them. That mom is not there, dad is not there, and or I'm talking to them, I'm speaking to them, and then they are just not listening. Or they are hearing but they are not listening. And then in inattentive parenting, you see that a parent could be there physically, but mentally, emotionally is detached from the child. And it's also possible for the parent to be emotionally and mentally available, but physically to be present. And most times parents have this perception that once they are able to meet the basic needs of the child, food, clothing and shelter, that is all there is. But the child wants more. He wants more, and he wants to be loved, to be cuddled, to be... I remember once a child telling me, why is it difficult for my mom to tell me that, to say I love you? and I said, discuss with your mom. Talk to her about it. And she did. And guess what the mother said? I beg, carry your wahala, come on for here. What do you mean? If I don't love you, will I not give you? I they give you food, I they give you this, I they give you that, I they buy you clothes, I they buy you this. They say every day I go wake up. They say all this foreign film where they watch. You don't enter your brain. You don't know what they do. See, we be Africans, so they don't get time for all those nonsense. They say, "Mommy, just say it." I know they talk. And she was like, "That woman, I don't understand that." And things like that. So we see all sort of issues like that that affect young people. So as we go on in this discussion, we'll be able to talk more about the subject.
All right. Thank you very much for the introduction, because it's important. Situations have happened. Some young ones have had to live on their own, even while still in the parent house. And that's some of the things we are looking at. I was looking at a scenario the other time. You won't believe it. A boy was the first son, the firstborn, and the younger sister, and in the same house. They were sleeping together. The point that parents got to know was when this girl, the younger sister, was confirmed pregnant. And the daddy was shouting, Mommy was shouting, I'm going to kill you today. Who has done this? And she said, when I need your attention, where were you? Daddy, I will call you several times. I want to talk to you. You said you are coming. You are a professor. You're very busy. Mommy, I will call you. You said you are going for business meeting. You never had my time. When things were going on in my mind, I need to discuss with you. And now, this has happened. And I'm not going to abort this pregnancy. So you better get set. So, and we see life has, been destroyed in this kind of route. And that was why we're saying that there is hope for you. If you can go with us on this particular journey. And I'm trusting God that it's going to be the dawn of a new day for you that have been going through this kind of situation, be able to see how to handle them. And we see God turning things around for you. So we'll go in depth. I want to look at what are situations that leads to, explain some, leads to inattentive parent. Then what could be the effect? All right, we'll look at the effect. Then immediately now we want to consider the causes of having an inattentive parent. Yes, sir.
All right, thank you. The causes are many. They are many. Number one, in no particular order, you see this. Presently now is in our society this mentality that parents have that they want to meet up with their colleagues, with their friends. They want to attain a certain level. They want to get to certain heights. They want to have this, they want to have that, and in the process they keep running after this. I want to make my first 100 million in by the time I'm this and that, and then they keep running. And after attaining that level, I want to what stopped me from going higher and higher? And then they keep running, business meeting here, business meeting there, and all that. And you just discover that all these things that they do, they're doing it to the detriment of the child, and then they are not there. For a week. A child was telling me, he said, we grew up not knowing daddy, because when you wake, is gone. I say most time we'll wait till 10. Hopefully that maybe we'll get back before 10. But when it's 10, we have to go sleep because of the following day, and sometimes it come back 11, and even weekends that it should be around, is also busy again and some other thing. So that is part of the problem. Then another thing is parental preoccupation with the social ladder. What I mean by this is, for example, the father or the mother is a pastor or a church worker or a woman leader or whatever, belong to this committee in the church.
Of activities.
Yeah, and then the father attend series of meetings and then counsel this and that, counsel all sort of people. And then by the time he gets home, he's tired, he's worn out, and then he's doing all this. The ministry way more than the family, to the detriment of the home and things like that. And there are some that even the child is even you want to have a nice time with the child, and then someone comes in from the church or brought an issue from the church, and they say, you know what, my daughter or my son, please let me attend to so and so, and that's getting fully engaged. And that time that he should have had with the child is totally gone. And then you also see that because there is no parenting skills, is also a big problem. I came across this some times ago, and I found it very, very funny. He said that every gadget that you buy, everything that you purchase always comes with a manual.
Yes.
But no child comes with a manual. Children don't come with manuals. Children don't come with their own manual to say, oh, this is my manual. Toyota can build Toyota Corolla, Toyota Camry, Toyota Highlander, Fortuna, and all these Land Cruiser and Co. The manual of Corolla is different from that of Camry. The one of Camry is different from the one of Highlander. The one of Highlander is different from Land Cruiser. They come with their manuals. Even phones have their manual. LG can do a particular series of TV. The manual for each of these TV series differs. The same thing, children. You can have 3 kids. Those 3 children, they differ, but they don't. Each of the child did not come with his own manual to say, okay, this is the manual to operate me. This is the manual to deal with me. And because parents don't know some of these things, no parental skills and all that, it becomes a problem. That's why they want this child to behave. Okay, this is how I raise child A, and I expect child B to behave the same way child A behaves. I say, no, you are not like your brother. You are not like your this. Then there is an issue in that area. Then another thing is, of course, poverty. Oh, poverty. When there is poverty in the home, everything a parent is just looking for is what to eat, and things like that, and every other thing is just a zero. And then if there is issue in the family, maybe there is a family breakup and things like that, and then the parent don't know how to handle. Every time they are thinking of the pain of the breakup or the things like that, they allow it to overwhelm them to the point that they don't have time for the child. The child needs the attention, and then you just remember, or every time you just remember what the father did to her, as a mother, and lo and behold, this child resembles the father so much. And so every time he looks at the child, he remembers the pain, the father, the pain, the agony, and everything like that. And some even go as far as transferring the aggression on the children, and because of that, you see parents don't really have time. And then there is also what is called concentration deficit disorder. It's also like a disease. Some people cannot concentrate for a long time. They get distracted almost too easily. You're talking to them, and then you say, that's why I say that some people can hear, but they cannot listen. So you are talking to them, physically they are there with you, and they are listening to you, and then you just say, Mom, are you listening? My dear, I'm sorry, my mind has gone somewhere else. And this child will be like, okay. So all this thing I'm telling you from the depth of my heart, it shows that you are not really as concerned as I thought you would be, and then that would be a problem. He or she closes up and things like that. And then, of course, stress or post-traumatic stress disorder. That's what they call PSTD. Yeah, if there is stress, or if there is stress or post-traumatic stress disorder, that also can be a problem. If a parent have that in him or her as a challenge, then it makes such parents not to be able to attend, not to have attentiveness to what the child is saying. So these are some of the major things that makes parents not to be totally or completely attentive when the child is talking to them, or is passing a message across to them, or is calling for for their attention. Even the time that we are in now, the frustration of the parents, of what goes on around, is even making them to be like, hey, don't come to me. I don't have your time. I have things on my head that I'm also thinking of and things like that. And yeah, these are some of the issues or some of the causes why parents tend to be inattentive to their children.
Very, very, very comprehensive indeed. And equally, we've seen some parents who, like you've rightly said, in a bit of 100 million at age of 40.
Yeah.
Then and we see the way they want to, run around. I've had a parent that said, anybody that want to be rich doesn't sleep in the night. So when you check them during the day, they don't really have time for anyone too. And we look at it that there's nothing you don't have time for except the one you've not created time for. And over time we've seen some women too, some parents too, if I may say, that are ambitious, the workaholic, call them career women, career men, that they run after this, and there is no really time for their kids. So these are there, and we're trying to explain each of these before you are going to say that we don't know what you're passing through. We know you go through some of all this. This may not be the complete list, but then you could pick certain things from the causes we needed you to know why it is so. Then, without wasting time, we look at the effect. What could be the effect? Not only on the children now, even on the family and society at large. We'll look at some of the effect of having inattentive parent or being inattentive parent, whichever way. Yes.
All right. Thank you. There was a study, a study some years back that I came across that said most times when people are old and I think they took samples of some people who were on their dying bed, they were about to die, they were sick and would give way at any time. So they sampled their opinion and asked them what is their biggest regrets, and 99% of them said that they never had time for their family. And they never had time for their family. And I remember this, that sometimes ago in one of the organizations I work with, someone was sick and he was a workaholic. He was sick and then he went, he was terribly sick. And then when he came back, he told me something. He said, look, learn from me. And I said, how do you mean? He said, did you know that the period that I was sick, the company sent representative to me. And those representatives only came, they did not spend up to 1 hour with me because they need to get back to their place of work. And the longer he was on the sick bed, the company found someone to fill in the vacuum for him because the company must keep going. He said, but all the while, because he was there for like a month or thereabout, he said, all the while, my wife, who I hardly have time for because of this same company, was the one that was always by my bedside all the time, including my children. They come back from school, they come to see daddy, they sit by my bedside and things like that. He says, so that made him now realize that family first before any other thing. So we've seen cases where, apart from the regret on the part of of parents eventually when they don't have not there for their children that are not being, that the parents are not listening to them, that are not being attentive to them. Those children always make wrong choices. They always make wrong choices. You understand? Because like I was telling some parents, I said, any question your child is asking you, if you say that question is stupid and the child should be quiet, he or she will go and find answer to that question elsewhere. And the kind of answer he or she may get may be what will lead to the destruction. But even if the question looks stupid, you know the answer, give the child the answer, but you are able to guide the child through appropriately. But if you say, hey, shut up, don't ask me such kind of, do you talk too much, I don't have time for this, whatever. The child is going to look out for his friends. And many children trust their friends more than their parents. Why? Because the friend listens to them. They have godfathers, sort of, who listen to them and say, don't worry, I got your back, I'm there for you. And many of them get them involved in things that are not there. Then number two, there is also, it affects the academics. They always have poor academic excellence. Yeah, a lot of them, I'm not saying all, but a lot of them, they have a poor academic excellence and stuff like that. And then their self-esteem also is also affected because they are not getting the attention. The children are attention seekers. They are not getting the attention that they need from home and things like that. Don't say this, don't say that, this, that, or if you are talking, you are shouting, you are screaming, no one is listening to you. It affects the child self-esteem a lot. And then there is a tendency for the child to be rebellious. There is a tendency because like I said, youth are attention seekers. You know, the shooting that happened in Florida, I think maybe 2017 or thereabout, the young man said that he had been craving for attention, but he didn't get it. But now, with that rebellious or with that act of his that he did, now every eye is on him. He got attention. For wrong reason. So they don't care whether the attention is for right or wrong reason. And most time, attention is not always gotten for right reason. Because for every right reason, I say, okay, it's normal. But for wrong reason, it comes to the attention of, why could he do that? How could he do that? And things like that. And then you also see the same children going into drugs, going into alcoholism, going into cultism, going into cultism. Someone, an ex-cultist was talking sometimes ago, last week on the radio, and then he said that they found it easy bringing in children of whose parents don't have time for them, because what they lack at home, they provide for them. The kind of love that they feel that they don't have at home, they give them. In quotes, that okay, you know what, you don't have love, you lack love, we show you love, but their own love is with an impure motive. Is with an impure motive. And then of course you see the girls also, there is tendency for them to be promiscuous because the parent does not they are not there for them. They are not listening. They are not asking them questions, or the child is talking, the parents are not listening, or they've left the child to fend for him or herself. So They are not checking up a circle of influence. They are not checking up the friends he or she keeps, and then the people he or she mix with, and this. So the children are being introduced to all lot of terrible vices, and the parents don't even know anything because they were just not available. Like I said, they could be physically present and emotionally they are detached, or they could be emotionally present but physically they are detached. So it's still the same thing as them not just being there at all. And then you also see that such children at times, some of them find it very difficult to have a kind of bond with their peers, because they, right from onset, they have learned they don't have bond at home, no bond with the parents, no bond with the siblings. So they've always learned to be all alone in their thinking and all that. And many of them eventually they end up turning out to be a weirdo, in the sense that while they were always alone to themselves with their decisions and everything, they have thought all sort of terrible things in their head, and some of them have written down all sort of bad thoughts to themselves, because they feel, okay, this person was not always there, I'm going to punish him or her in the future. And some of them, they bring shame to that family. The name that you say, okay, no, I'm doing all this for my kids. That's what you hear parents say. Oh, you see, I'm going from morning to night is for my kids. Like Solomon said, he said, this house I'm building it down. I don't know the kind of son that is going to take over from it. Maybe it's somebody that is going to destroy everything I've worked for all my years in one day. You understand? So these are some of the effects that happen when parents are just not attentive to their children.
This is really eyes opening, and we've quite over time seen some children, around. I had the story of one that involved an armed robbery, and at the point of execution, he made one request before he would be executed. And what was the request? Can I talk to my mom? Then when the mother moved, said, Mother, draw closer to me. I want to whisper to you. I don't want people to hear. Then his teeth went for the mother's ear. And he was saying that you were supposed to tell me, but you are not there. When all of this happened. We've come to the end of the section today. I hope you've been able to see one or two things you need to improve. Possibly you pick up things that you need to change from, part of your attitude that you need to improve. Until I come your way next time on this same radio station, I am King Emmanuel, and I'm saying goodbye. If you have questions, we can be reached on all our social media at the Incubator Media, and you can listen again to this episode by clicking on the www.theincubatormedia.com. You will see it there, and you need someone to talk to, or you need a counseling. Our phone numbers are there, 08092374502, and you can equally get across to us too. You can get me on Facebook, on Twitter, on LinkedIn at the King Emmanuel Folarin Show. I will be happy to be of help to you. Till we see next time, goodbye. God bless you.